I've had these e.l.f. Plus matte products in my makeup collection, my beauty collection, for a couple of months now, maybe a month. And I've been meaning to test them out with you guys to see how they help at keeping my T-zone shine free throughout the day. So that's what we're gonna do today. I also picked up this Sephora Super Matte Moisturizer the last time I was in Sephora for $16. So I thought, why not try out this on one side of my face and the e.l.f. moisturizer from this collection on the other side of my face, at least for the moisturizer part, and see how they compare throughout the day along with the rest of the e.l.f. products. Just kind of throw something into the mix. I'm going to test these out with a foundation that I like the finish of, but it just doesn't control oil that well. The Kogendo Aqua foundation. I know a lot of people really like this that have dry skin. It doesn't really work that well for me at controlling oil because I do have combination skin with an oily T-zone, and we're gonna see if these products actually work at blotting throughout the day. Now, I did already apply the Sephora Mattifying Moisturizer on this side of my face and the e.l.f. moisturizer on this side of my face because I got the idea for this as I was getting out of the shower today, and it just really wasn't appropriate to show you the application in the state I was in. I've had both of these on for at least 45 minutes now as I've just been doing stuff around the house. This is the e.l.f. moisturizer right here, and this is the Sephora. Both of them are lotiony textures. They apply very easily and start to get kind of tacky and almost dry down as you apply them. I like how much product you get in the e.l.f. product, and I do love that it has a pump. The Sephora is just your typical screw cap. I typically get pretty shiny if I just leave my moisturizer on before I put my makeup on. I do have a little bit of shine going on, but I don't feel sticky on either side, and I feel like both sides look pretty even. I can't find anywhere that tells me how much is in this e.l.f. matte oil control lotion. If any of you can find it, please let me know. And I do want to let you know that I have some redness going on. This isn't from the products today. It's from just testing out a bunch of different things over the past week or two. It's just kind of taken a toll on my skin and I get red. The e.l.f. uses kaolin clay and tea tree, and you do get a hint of that scent. I don't think that they use anything artificial though as far as scent goes. Nothing stands out to me. I see water, kaolin, tea tree oil, willow bark extract, lavender, and some other ingredients, but I don't see added fragrance. Now, the Sephora moisturizer says it has a natural hyaluronic acid and mattifying powder, and it's supposed to mattify and minimize shine. And it also has water, glycerin as the humectant. It has squalane, which is good for the skin as well, and it has hyaluronic acid, and it does have added fragrance towards the end. It's like the third to the last ingredient. It might be to mask the natural fragrance of the product, so it's not a bad fragrance, but I don't really notice anything overwhelming at all. So for those of you that are concerned about fragrance, that is not anything that is overwhelming. And this is a silicone-based primer. So I'm gonna put the matte oil control primer on all over my face. And this whole line uses kaolin clay and tea tree oil. I just don't want to be repetitive in saying that about each product. There is also a mask that goes along with this line. I didn't get that because realistically, I'm not gonna do that mask in the morning before I do my makeup. And this is very silicone-based. It looks like it is going to kind of be that Smashbox primer type of silicone primer, which I typically don't like. And this also has that same tea tree oil kind of herbal fragrance to it. It is spreading on easier and it's very silky, but it's not too slippery. And I do like that it's spreading easily over both moisturizers. I was a little worried that because they dried down so much that it might be hard to spread things over them, but it's not at all. I'm gonna let that set down for a minute. If you've tried any of these e.l.f. products, please leave me a comment down below. The curiosity was getting to me, so I just wanted to do this video and share it with you guys. e.l.f. also has another matte primer. It's the e.l.f. Luminous Matte Makeup Primer. I'm really intrigued by this one, but it's not really the one that goes with the e.l.f. Plus line, so stay tuned for my thoughts on that in some kind of video soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, and throughout the day I am going to be touching up or blotting with these two products at some point. I'm not sure when exactly I'm going to use the matte blotting mist versus the matte blotting powder, because these are both to touch up with during the day. One is if you want to be touch free, and the other is if you want to just use powder. So I'm just going to keep them on hand and use them when I need to. And this may go a couple of days, so maybe I'll touch up with one today and use the other one tomorrow. I don't know. I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants here. We'll just see how this goes today. But I do know that this foundation is not good with oil control, so we'll see how it does over what we have going on right now. I have to run somewhere, so I did my makeup super quickly. I don't even know what it looks like right now, but I'm wondering if I could use this as a setting spray. I mean, why not, right? I shook it up because there's some white sediment at the bottom. This mattifying touch-up spray helps absorb excess oils for a mattified complexion in seconds. Infused with mattifying kaolin clay, this mist lets you blot away oil in an effortless, touchless way. Shine be gone. You know what? Let's live on the edge and just see how this goes. Let's look at the spray first. Okay, it's all right. All right, let's just do a tiny bit on the face and go about the day. Okay, so I'm not going to touch anything. I'm just going to let that settle, and I will report in at some point today and let you guys know how it's going. I was trying to get it a good angle for you. It's been about 4 hours, a little over 4 hours, and I feel like I started to have shine break through maybe about 30 minutes ago, which is really good for this foundation. This probably would have happened about an hour and a half in if I had worn this foundation with a normal primer and normal powder. I don't think it really matters which moisturizer I used. It looks the same on both sides. I don't know if the sun is hitting it differently, if that's what you're seeing. So I'm going to attempt to blot and powder with one hand because I'm holding my phone with the other. Just a tiny bit came off on the Kleenex, not much at all. It's pretty impressive. So for this first touch up, I'm just gonna take this face brush and dip it into the powder. And we're gonna see how this works. Okay, that's kind of white, but it is stopping the shine. I mean, I might want a little bit of glow on my cheeks, right? I'm patting it in a little bit more in the areas where I get shinier, and I'm sorry if I'm wiggling the phone. It doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. Here's where we are now. I think that looks good, and I'll check back in a couple hours. Bear with me. My lighting is terrible, but it is nighttime, and it has been about 9.5 hours, close to 10 hours. The only touching up that I have done was when I touched up on camera with that powder earlier. I kept waiting and kept checking in the mirror to see when I could use the spray to blot with, but it never happened. So I may have to insert Editing Stephanie in here later to maybe show you me doing that on another day. Editing Stephanie here, I did just test out the e.l.f. matte blotting mist. I had a little bit of shine going on today, midday, so I decided to sit down and see if this would actually work without blotting my face first, because this is supposed to be touchless. I don't know what you think, if there's a difference, but this is what my face looked like before. And I did have to stick the end of a brush in the bottom of this to get the sediment out and kind of mix it up, and it made this kind of fizzy sound. It was really strange. And then I shook it up and sprayed it on my face, and I blew it dry with my little mini fan that I totally bought because of Allie Glines. I saw her use it, I don't know, maybe a year ago on her channel, and I thought that is brilliant for blowing your face dry after you spray it with setting spray. I'll link that down below if you are interested in picking one of those up, but I like it a lot better than sitting there fanning my face. I don't know if you're seeing a lot of difference in the shine from when I was shiny and now, but I'm not seeing a lot of difference. I'm kind of liking the powder a little bit better for blotting, and I don't think I'm really going to carry around this with me in my purse or anything like that. I mean, I guess if I was at home, but I do feel like this is the one product that kind of makes me feel a little bit dry after I apply it. But even then, I don't think it did a whole lot at blotting those areas. Like I just blotted them with my finger. So yeah, the powder is what I would choose. I like the packaging, I like the spray functionality, but I don't really find it did much for me in terms of blotting. Now, when I sat with it, I do feel like it helps there because it almost preemptively took care of the oils, which is something I do with dry shampoo. You know, at night sometimes I'll go ahead and spray it to combat the oil breakthrough, to stop it before it even starts. So I think that is kind of how I would use this product. But again, not for super dry skin. I have to say I'm super impressed with how these products performed. I didn't notice a difference between the Sephora moisturizer side and the e.l.f. side. Everything feels the same, everything looks the same. All the products in conjunction seem to work really well. It's really hot and really humid here still, and this foundation, it just held on because of those products. So I have to say I'm pretty impressed. I like the way these make my skin look normal. I don't feel like I look dry and tight. I don't feel dry and tight. I don't feel overly matte. I just feel like my skin looks like normal skin, real skin, and it doesn't feel heavy or anything like that on the face, which is really nice. And as the day goes on, and you know, if you have oily combination skin, things start to just feel greasy. I didn't get that feeling today. I'm happy. I wasn't expecting them to work as well as they did. If you've tried these products, if you've tried other mattifying products that work well for you, I would love to hear about those in the comments below. I do feel like these would be really good for those of you who maybe have tried a foundation and it just failed for you. It slid off your face. It is just too radiant, too dewy, too glowy, and you need to mattify it a little bit. You could try maybe one of these, see if it works. If you need a little bit more, you could add on another. It might be an inexpensive way to get a product to work for you that previously was a fail. Or if you just are like me and have an oily T-zone or just an oily face in general, and you just need a little bit more mattifying that doesn't make your skin feel bad, this would be a good place to start, a good product line to try. I hope you found this little mini review helpful. If you're not subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.